Wake up, world. It's time for the William Malcolm Morning Show, where we encourage you to pursue your dreams and live a life filled with passion and purpose. So turn up your volume and prepare to be inspired. Now, here's your host, William Malcolm.
Hello, and good morning, Detroit, on this very cool, crisp fall day. No, it is not William Malcolm. It is I, Stephanie Coney. And I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited to have the guest that we have in the studio today. I'll just get right to her intro, and we have a lot of stuff to cover today. So today, my guest is Melissa Rios, who was born and raised in Southwest Detroit, District 6, and has lived there for 37 years. After graduating from Western International High School in Southwest Detroit, she earned an associate degree of business and paralegal studies and a bachelor of science and a Bachelor of Political Science and Legal Studies. As a lifelong Detroiter, Melissa wanted to take part of the positive changes in her hometown. She started with the Detroit Land Bank Authority as a paralegal manager and has held many roles in departments like legal and operations before becoming the procurement manager. In her current role, she manages the procurement process at the Detroit Land Bank Authority and is responsible for informing Detroit businesses, small and large, on how to contract with the organization. Melissa is proud to serve the citizens of the city of Detroit and is committed to maintaining a fair and transparent process. Hello and good morning, Melissa.
Hello, Stephanie, and thank you for having me here today.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for my gift. Oh my goodness, I got jewelry, and today is Sweetest Day. Happy Sweetest Day.
Happy Sweetest Day.
Thank you so much. So we're going to get right into it. I'm so glad that you're here today. And I'm so glad that you have the passion that you have for the city of Detroit. Let's talk about a little bit your role as the procurement manager. And congratulations, by the way, on your promotion. Let's talk about your role as the procurement manager for the Detroit Land Bank Authority.
Thank you, Stephanie. So I have been the procurement manager for the last 8 months. It's been great to be able to contract with the vendors that we have been contracting with. We have many opportunities within the Detroit Land Bank Authority. You'll see a majority of our procurement needs revolve around our residential renovation program, but we also have many other opportunities that come up. Most recently, we were looking for title services, marketed brokers, landscaping. Currently, we have a tree and stump removal RFQ out, and we're still looking for those if anybody's interested. Okay. So there's all kinds of opportunities. All of our opportunities are on BidSync. Okay. BidSync is also Periscope. It used to be BidSync, formerly known as BidSync. It's now Periscope. They are one and the same. So some people, they'll say, I don't know what BidSync is. It's Periscope. Or they don't know what Periscope is. It is BidSync. They are one and the same. Okay. So that's the starting point to see everything that we do offer. And then, of course, the buildingdetroit.org, which is the DLBA website. We always put up all of our opportunities on there as well.
Awesome. So for someone who is listening today and they're not quite familiar with the Detroit Land Bank and how it works, can you just give us a little small description of what does the Land Bank do?
Normally, when somebody hears the Detroit Land Bank Authority, they assume we are a bank and we have money. Mm-hmm. That is not what the Detroit Land Bank is.
Thanks for clarifying that.
We are basically a bank of properties. We have an inventory of Detroit properties. Mm-hmm. They have been gained through forfeitures, tax foreclosure, abandoned buildings that people haven't stepped up to take care of. There's litigation that happens, and they become property of the Detroit Land Bank Authority. Once they become in our inventory, then we have to figure out what we're going to do with these properties. Mm-hmm. So that's the job, the mission of the Detroit Land Bank Authority, to get these properties in habitable condition, back on the tax roll if possible. So those determinations have to be made. Is the house able to be rehabbed? Does it need to be demolished? Okay. What do we need to do to help the city become the best it can be again?
Yes, the best that it can be again.
Yes.
And so how does the land bank obtain these properties? Is it due to properties that didn't sell at the auction or foreclosed properties?
I know for sure it's foreclosed property once they become foreclosed, and I'm not sure if they're coming after the auction, but we do get a lump sum of properties at time of foreclosure, and that's when we have to determine which way to work with these properties, if they are able to be rehabbed or not. Some of the other ones, like I said, if the homeowners are not taking care of their property, the investors have invested in too many properties and are not able to maintain them, they're out of the country, what have it. We give them the opportunity to come in compliance and bring the house back up to suitable condition, livable condition. So we have a legal department. They'll put a poster on the home. The homeowner or owner of the property needs to contact them within a certain amount of time. Enter into an agreement saying they are going to bring the house back up, get it boarded so it's safe until they are able to rehab the home. There's certain protocols in the agreement they have to sign. If nobody comes forward, then it does go to court, and if nobody shows up at court, it will become property of the Detroit Land Bank Authority.
Wow. I feel so educated right now. I had no idea that goes into it, that they actually give a person a notice and say, hey, we're willing to work with you, but you have to contact us, basically. Okay. And if they don't, then it becomes property of the land bank. So let's talk about you mentioned one of the services, because you mentioned several, broker. Is that you guys contact with real estate brokers?
Marketed broker services. It is a current RFQ out right now. I believe it's an RFQ, and we are looking for their qualifications and quotations. And there's like an Excel sheet in there, and it's the services we're looking for, and they would put their prices, and that's how we evaluate them, by their qualifications and the prices they enter on the sheet. And what it is, basically, if I can recall everything in there, is looking for someone to come out to market these houses that we have. Take a look at them, market them within their company.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. So there are a lot of opportunities, from what I'm hearing, with the Detroit Land Bank for purchasing homes, rehabbing homes, and selling homes.
Correct.
That's awesome. So let's talk about how the Detroit Land Bank works with, the small and large businesses and organizations. What type of opportunities do they provide to, the businesses in the city of Detroit?
Again, several opportunities depending on what we have, what our needs are at the time. Some of the ones I named there previously. Majority of them are the Rehabbed and Ready program. We're looking for contractors to renovate these homes. It's our Rehabbed and Ready program where these houses have been deemed able to be rehabbed. And now we need the contractors to come in and do that for us. Yes. So we're always looking for general contractors. For plumbing and construction. For those, we require a little bit more documentation. Some of that would be your builder's license or your master plumbing license. Of course, we always need general liability insurance.
Of course.
For the general contractors, we need a bonding ability letter. And that's one of the differences between some of the trade packages we're now offering. If you are not able to do the whole house, we are now offering trade packages, and you do not need that bond ability letter. You would just need your state licenses. You would need evidence of financial stability, references, of course, your insurance again. And for those, the house is broke up into 17 trade packages.
Wow. Each property?
Each property.
That needs to be rehabbed.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, so what are those 17, or do you know a few?
I definitely know a few. I can probably name the majority of them.
Okay.
So we are looking for electrical work, plumbing, drywall, flooring and tile, concrete, countertops, floor and wall coverings, insulation, HVAC, railings. And as long as you have a state license or you have the certifications necessary, some of these do require the ERP certification. That's for your paint and lead. So depending on what trade it is you're interested in, as long as you have those certifications, then you can now do work with the Detroit Land Bank Authority without having that bonding letter.
Without having the bonding letter. And that prevents, because we write bonds as well. I see a lot of contractors get knocked out of the box because they can't produce a performance bond, a bid performance bond. It's really stringent depending on the amount of the bond and how much is being requested. So this is awesome because the small players, they need something like that to help them graduate to that level, know. And so this right here, this is awesome. This is game changer. So if anyone is out there listening and you're a small contractor or a small contractor, please, or they have a niche, one of these 17 niches that she just named, please give them this information. And Melissa, how can they get this information? Where can they go?
To see the open opportunities right now, our website always lists everything that is current and still open. Mm-hmm. If they register with BidSync Periscope, it is free to register. You can see yes, it is a free registration. And from there, you can see the opportunities that the Detroit Land Bank has to offer, among other companies, of course. And you select it, you submit your proposal. Mm-hmm. One thing I would say when you're submitting your proposal is please pay attention to the information that is required.
Okay.
We have a checklist. It's included with each of our RFPs, RFQs. Mm-hmm. When we're looking for someone, the job is described. The checklist is there. If you check off as you're getting your packet together, you're going to have a successful proposal.
Gotcha. Now, for someone who's never written a proposal, or this sounds just like really overwhelming, what kind of advice, when we say proposal, give me an idea of some of the documentations that the proposal consists of.
Okay.
And should they hire someone to do that? Or is it something that, because a lot of our small contractors, if they're busy, doing plumbing or on top of a roof, they may not, so how could we simplify that for them? Like just in their head to know what would this proposal consist of?
Exactly. The word proposal is kind of scary when you hear it.
Even for me.
I recommend always reading through our bid. Make sure you understand what it is we're looking for, what the job's going to entail. Mm-hmm. If you still are interested, check the checklist. Right there, you need a letter of interest. Mm-hmm. That is as simple, and that's right here. I'm reading off the checklist.
Okay.
Letter of interest. That's basically, my company we are interested in working with, we have this many years of experience. Mm-hmm. Here is the contact person name, address, phone number, email. That's letter of interest.
That sounds so simple.
We need a certification form, and that's attached to our bid. Okay. So you just sign and date that.
Okay.
We need evidence of insurance. Mm-hmm. We need your licenses or certifications for the trade. Evidence of financial stability. I think sometimes that scares people as well. Mm-hmm. What it is, if you have audited reports, accountant reports, we will take those. We also accept profit and loss with 3 months of bank statements. Okay. References. What are some of the jobs you've done? Who have you worked for? Give us their phone number. Mm-hmm. We need a conflict of interest statement and supporting documents. Whether you have a conflict or you don't, we need that in writing.
Okay.
The next ones are your description and capacity of company. Mm-hmm. What is your company? Is it an LLC? Is it a corporation? Explain what your company is and what is your capacity. Mm-hmm. How many people are in your company? What kind of equipment do you have? Just something paraphrasing what your company has. What is your capacity to work? You can do 5 houses, whatever we're asking. What can you do in what kind of time frame? Mm-hmm. And then your pricing proposal.
Wow. It's very transparent. It sounds simple. We're going to delve right back into that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back, Detroit. We have Melissa Rios from the Detroit Land Bank Authority. Thanks.
The William Malcolm Morning Show, live on Faith Talk Detroit.
Northland Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram is under new ownership, new management. The new Northland Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram remains a family-owned business and is considered to be the gold standard of auto dealerships. We are 100% committed to customer satisfaction and will do whatever we can to earn and retain your business. We are in the center of the Metro Detroit area, conveniently located on 8 Mile Road in Oak Park. Northland is the first and last place you will need to shop for a new or used car by Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. visit northlandchryslerjeepdodge.com or call 248-398-9200 to learn more.
Does your health insurance carrier coordinate with your auto insurance carrier? Hi, I'm Stephanie Coney, insurance broker for London Consulting and Insurance Firm. Our independent office specializes in both personal and commercial lines insurance. If you're looking for great customer service, then contact me, Stephanie Coney, at the London Consulting Firm today by calling 1-800-651-9142 or visit www.londonconsultingfirm.com.
Take William Malcolm everywhere you go with the WLQV mobile app, available in your app store today.
When you're looking for a trusted, professional, and creative team using state-of-the-art technology to capture your precious life moments and events, choose the second-to-none company for videography and live multimedia services.
One Vision Media Group.
Call us today at 1-800-764-3110 or visit our website at onevisionmediagroup.com. That's the number 1, visionmediagroup.com. One Vision Media Group.
Our focus is on you.
Style, swag, and information overload. The William Malcolm Morning Show is live on Faith Talk Detroit.
Hello, Detroit, and I like that music. It's so fitting right now because I feel patriotic about the city of Detroit right now. I just feel the energy and passion right now. We're here in the studio with Melissa Rios, the Procurement Manager for the Detroit Land Bank Authority, and we have been talking about how can you become contracted and bid on contracts with the Detroit Land Bank Authority. Right before we went to break, I asked, what are some of the things that a person could prepare themselves for so that it doesn't seem so overwhelming when they're looking at a bid. And just to recap that, what Melissa stated was read the bid. Read the bid, go over the checklist, have your letter of interest, have your certification form, have your evidence of insurance, have your license, your certification, your financial stability statements, profit and loss, bank statements, references, conflict of interest, description of your capability, and then finally your pricing and propose your pricing. So let's go over real quick the financial stability, because for the average small contractor, that sounds a little scary, especially if they're maybe doing QuickBooks or something on their own. Can we go into that just a little bit about what does that look like as it relates to the proposal?
Yes. So we just want to make sure you have the stability to perform the job that you're saying you can do for us. Mm-hmm. Your profit and losses for the year. We also accept the bank statements. We're not looking for you to have $1 million in your account. Okay. We just want to show that you can transact business, mm-hmm. and you can pay your employees, mm-hmm. for the job that you're proposing you can do for us. Okay. We do not pay upfront. We have a net 30.
Okay.
So that's we need to see that they have the money to, mm-hmm. get the job started.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's why we typically ask for about 3 months of bank statements. Mm-hmm. So we don't need the audited financials. We don't need you to go pay the accountant for that up front. That's the larger corporations usually do have that available. But if you can provide 2 to 3, 6 months, whatever you're willing to provide, and if we have any further questions, we'll reach out and we'll get a better understanding or ask for additional paperwork. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And then one thing that we talked about off air was the side lot fair. Can you briefly go into that? So someone owns a home and next door, and this is the case in a lot of our neighborhoods, there's vacant land next to them or across them. Talk about the side lot fair.
Okay, so I actually participated in one of our side lot fairs.
Okay.
The Detroit Land Bank Authority employees are asked at the time of a side lot fair to sign up for a certain day or time frame. We've had some in the past in different areas. I can't think of the community centers right now, but I know for sure we had one in Southwest Detroit. We had one in Northwest Detroit. And the land bank comes together and we take over the auditorium. There's tables, there's lines, there's printers, there's computers. And you come in, everybody is sent out postcards prior to the event, letting them know you live next door to this side lot. If you're interested, come on down. So it's usually the people that live right on the side of that house. They come in, and depending on who's been there, I guess, longer or who's been taking care of this property, all that's taken into consideration. But at these side lot fairs, they walk in with this card. We look their information up, make sure there's no back taxes, that they're able to maintain another property. And by the time they get through the line, they've made their payment. They walk out with deed in hand, and they now legally own this piece of land that some of these families have been taken care of for 20 or 30 years already, but just they didn't legally own it and didn't know where to go or how to acquire that side lot.
Well, they know now. Thank you so much, Melissa. And you and I connect on so many different levels. We're both graduates of Western International High School. We're cowgirls. We're from Southwest Detroit, and we share the same passion. So basically what we went over today, we're going to be doing this in a 3-part series, Detroit, at 6301 Michigan Avenue, the London Consulting Firm. And can you, let's just go over briefly what our 3-part series would look like, because this was a lot of information in just a couple of minutes, but we want people to get more of this information. And do you want to go over like our 3 parts real quick?
Yes, of course, Stephanie.
Okay.
So our first event is going to be on October 26th.
Okay.
This is 5:30 to 7:30. We're going to be going over required documents, certifications, and licenses. So we'll be there to answer questions. What do I need for this particular one? What do I need for this? By the time you walk out, hopefully you'll know exactly what you need to prepare for your proposal to have a successful proposal. And more information on where these certifications and licenses are if they don't already have them.
Okay. We need anybody who is listening, we need you guys to tell a friend or come and participate, because this is going to be game changer. Melissa, what do you think about a contractor obtaining one of these type of bids? Do you think that this could be game changer or life changer for their business?
I believe it can be. You are contracting with the Detroit Land Bank Authority. We are very similar yet different from the city.
Okay.
So you're getting your foot in the door of getting larger contracts. And by starting off with these trade packages, we're going to have several trade packages. Now, I believe we have 4 different houses out. So that's 17 packages per home. And then we have all the other opportunities too, the tree and stump removal, the title services. There's so many opportunities, not just for the contractors. And I think it can be game changing. It's going to add to your portfolio.
Yes.
It's anything, more work you have that you can use as a reference is going to build your company.
Okay. And nobody else is doing it like we are in Detroit right now, are they, as far as land banks?
I don't think so either. We were just having this discussion the other day that the Detroit Land Bank Authority, we believe, is setting precedent for many other land banks. And that's Detroit.
That's Detroit. We are on the come up. I'm so passionate about Detroit and the city of, and particularly Southwest Detroit, because that's where I am. Just personally, not even professionally, personally between you and I, Melissa, where do you see, with all the development that's going on, where do you think our city is going to look like in, say, the next 5 years?
It's going to be a city people are going to talk about, and not negatively anymore.
Right,
in the past, you mentioned Detroit, and people are like, oh, Detroit. That's not going to be Detroit. Detroit is up and coming. There's so much happening, groundbreaking news, groundbreaking events, and I'm just proud to say that I'm part of that.
You are part of a renaissance, and you're a part of the organization that's going to help our city look great and give small business owners opportunities.
Exactly.
So any last words you want to give to any contractor that's scared to make that next move, or, just quite don't know how to get on board? Anything you want to, inspiring you want to say?
The only thing that comes to mind would be these trade packages that we've mentioned. This is your step in the larger general contractor ring. So you're going to start with your trade, you're going to knock that out, you're going to get another trade package, and you're going to want to become a general contractor so you can get the bigger contracts.
Get to the next level.
And to get there, these events on October 26th, November 2nd, and November 9th are going to walk you through those steps.
Amen. And so I'm excited. We're ready, Detroit. Come on out, visit the land bank. Thank you so much, Melissa, for being here. You are an awesome guest. Thank you for my jewelry. And happy Sweetest Day. And happy Sweetest Day, Detroit. Thank you all for tuning in. I love this great city. Let's make it great again.